Behind the polished image of Cyril Ramaphosa, the consummate statesman, the celebrated negotiator, the man who rose from union leader to business mogul and finally to the presidency, there lies a shadow world rarely glimpsed by the public eye. While the headlines focus on speeches, international summits, and policy announcements, a complex web of influence and control thrives quietly in the background. Welcome to what insiders whisper about as Ramaphosa's shadow empire, an intricate system of alliances, strategic appointments, and political maneuvers that dictate the rhythm of South African politics behind the scenes. Those close to the corridors of power speak of a president whose reach extends far beyond official decrees. This isn't merely the exercise of executive authority, it is a carefully curated network that ensures loyalty, suppresses dissent, and guides the decisions of party stalwarts across the nation. From the allocation of tenders to appointments in state-owned enterprises, from the subtle shaping of policy to influencing the party's internal elections, Ramaphosa's hand is said to be everywhere, seen by few, understood by even fewer. The architecture of this shadow empire, according to insiders, rests on a delicate balance of trust and fear. Key figures in government, business, and civil society are carefully vetted, elevated, or sidelined based on their alignment with the president's broader strategic goals. Those who dissent too loudly risk being quietly marginalized, while allies often find themselves in positions of unprecedented influence. This duality, reward and discipline, is the hallmark of a political machine operating under the radar. Whispers of clandestine meetings and unpublicized power shifts abound in political circles. Decisions that appear on the surface as bureaucratic or routine are often the result of prolonged behind-the-scenes negotiations orchestrated by Ramaphosa and his closest confidants. Some analysts suggest that this hidden network is what allows him to navigate the party's fractious factions, managing rivalries with the precision of a chess grandmaster. The real battle for influence, they argue, rarely makes it to the public eye. It is fought quietly, subtly, and ruthlessly. Critics claim that this concentration of influence comes at a cost. Allegations of nepotism, favoritism, and unaccountable decision-making have surfaced repeatedly, raising questions about transparency and democratic integrity. While Ramaphosa has publicly championed anti-corruption campaigns, insiders contend that the same mechanisms that enforce loyalty within his circle can also be used to protect allies from scrutiny. The duality of a leader who speaks of reform while managing an invisible network of control has become a central paradox of his presidency. Yet, supporters insist that what is often labeled a shadow empire is nothing more than effective leadership, a necessary consolidation of influence in a political landscape fractured by competing interests. They argue that in a party and a nation riddled with division, decisive, behind-the-scenes maneuvering is essential to maintain stability, implement reform, and safeguard the country's future. To them, Ramaphosa's invisible hand is the guiding force that prevents chaos and ensures continuity. Regardless of perspective, one thing is clear: the story of Cyril Ramaphosa cannot be fully understood without looking beyond the speeches, press conferences, and social media posts. It requires peering into the hidden chambers of influence, the whispered deals, and the quiet power plays that define the inner workings of South African politics. This is the untold story of his shadow empire, a realm where power is wielded with subtlety, where loyalty is currency, and where the true architecture of political control remains largely invisible to the public eye. As South Africa moves forward, questions linger: how far does the shadow empire extend? Who are its architects and its loyal enforcers? And perhaps most provocatively, what does it mean for the nation when the levers of power are as hidden as they are absolute? The answers may never fully emerge, but the shadows themselves speak volumes about the contours of leadership in the modern South African state.